Okay, here we go. Hello, everyone. This is an amazing day because I have, and you guys have, the opportunity to see something amazing. Today, we will talk about maximizing e-commerce success with 3D for new collections launch. And I'm really pleased and excited to share the stage with Andrea Carpineti, that is the CEO of Future Fashion. And thank you for your time and for being here today, Andrea.
Thank you, Leonardo, and it's a pleasure to be here with you and with all the hosts of our
Yeah,
webinar.
absolutely. I'm really excited because today we'll see again, as I said, amazing things. The changing of the landscape of e-commerce. This is our agenda for today. Of course, guys, the transition from 2D images to 3D low poly models. Uh, Andrea is a master on this one, and then to build the customer confidence through two 3D models that needs to be really hyper realistic and photorealistics. The benefits of those 3D models versus the standard 2D images, and then the time for your questions and our answers. But let's start right on. Um the landscape of e-commerce, how it's changed, and why it is important to have nowadays high quality visual content. Why it's important? Because right now when you're buying, whether it is online or your desktop or mobile, you want more descriptions and photographs, aesthetic images is not enough, customer ratings is not enough. So what it is important is to have something unique to create and craft experiences that might be customized, totally customized, because customers expect it. You can see the numbers on the slide. And of course, technology needs to expand, and catalogs and merchants need to offer, you guys need to offer something more than just static images. And so most businesses, and of course, some of you do, it's okay, but it's not enough anymore. So customers expanded their range. They want more technologies. They want unique experiences. They want products that can almost touch, and 3D and AR are the bridge between the in-store experiences and online shopping. So, of course, the 3D technology is an investment, but doesn't need to break. You guys don't need to break the bank, and it is important to have a 3D centric approach that involves all the entire company. Is it right, Andrea?
Oh, yes, of course, because I think that it's very important for a company to consider the 3D like an investment, because when you realize it one time, you can use it in all your workflow. So you can use it in different departments with different technologies. So, for example, you can use the same 3D on your e-commerce to improve, for example, the engagement inside your PDP, or you can use it offline in your 3D configurator for your boutique, or you can insert it inside the 3D banner. So as you can see in this slide, you can use it on all the workflow of a company.
Absolutely, even in store. And I wanted to touch this argument, and we want to do to engage more in this argument because it is important. As Andrea said perfectly, the entire company needs to invest not only on the 3D models as a technology, but as a concept. And in this case, 3D is a transformative technology, same as the virtual try-on, the augmented reality. Uh, it is sustainable because you can see the numbers speak from themselves. It is proven that, of course, if you use and your company is has a 3D approach, you reduce in an amazing way, in a great way, the CO2 emissions. You produce less samples. You just need to create amazing combination. You can create thousands of combinations just with 3D models. Then you can build custom. and then you can build just what the customer needs and buys. So the made to order concept becomes reality and become really what companies need, you guys need as merchants to create in your day to day life. So being more and more sustainable. But I ask you, Andrea, how can we switch this concept? How can we enter in this 3D era? How to switch to 3D?
So, okay, thank you, Leonardo. So here we can see how we can do that. It's very important for a company to approach the 3D in a different way, so with a 3D centric approach, and to realize that it's important also to start to implement inside your company a 3D office. But it's very hard because normally when we are speaking about this problem, okay, some companies can have a 3D office inside, but generally they design with CAD file, so with high poly 3D. But if we won't use them in the e-commerce part, so we can't use them because the weight of the file is very high and we need to transform them in a low poly file. And to do that, for example, we are implementing a platform that automatically can realize the 3D from high poly and to low poly, sorry. And sometimes we need to design from zero. So it's not possible to design and to have all the 3Ds inside your company. So sometimes we need to have also a different pipeline, a different approach. So when we advise to approach the 3D transition to a company, we advise to use different pipeline and to combine all together. For my opinion and for my experience, I think that today inside the market, the best pipeline is the pipeline based on photogrammetry. Because as you can see in this slide, you can have a lot of saving in cost and time if we are speaking that we need to design from scratch your your 3D starting from 2D image, but with photogrammetry uh, we can improve a lot of capacity. Why? Because you can be more scalable inside your process. The output could be more affordable and could be more high level if you have a strong pipeline in photogrammetry. So the photogrammetry start from the acquisition
Mhm.
of the shoes of the object, starting from just a lot of photos around the object. So we take about 250 photos with our pipeline, and then a software can create a 3D. Here you can see the typical output that the photogrammetry output
Mhm.
can realize. And as you can see, we have a lot of artifacts. So the output is not so good because you have to manage a lot of different aspects in the acquisition process of the object. So the lights, the parameters, the angles of the photos, the numbers of the photos. So you have to manage a lot of aspects. And this is the typical output. But in our case, we implement a new pipeline, a strong pipeline. And so in our case, we realize an output, an high level output. So here you can see, for example, just an image where we can explain that if you had an output like the output that we saw in the previous slide, we need to post produce the
Mhm.
item. So we need a physical work by 3D artists to realize an output
Mhm.
like that. But if you implement a new pipeline like the pipeline that we are implementing, you can have a perfect output in just one click. So in the next slide, we can see. the real output that we can reach with a strong photogrammetry output. So here you can see from on the right the photo reference, so the initial image of the real product, and on the left you can see the 3D as you can see. So I think they are I think they are not similar, but they are the same picture. So we are seeing the same picture because we are starting the process from the real product. So this is the 3D, in this case, it's the real product. So just to show you also in the other slide, Leonardo, another
Mhm.
experiment. So in this case, with the new pipeline that we are implementing, no post processing is needed, and the image that you see on the right of the screen is realized in just one click. So we acquire the object with a lot of photos, and then in just one click we can create the output like in the right side of the screen. So if you click also, or we can see also a 3Ds probably. And in this case, for example, this is the 3D output that we realize. As you can see, so the quality is real. And so here we can have also in this case some artifact, but because in this case this is the real product. So for example, if we want the perfect shoes, we can work in post production to avoid all the defect of the shoes, as you can see here on the screen or here. So we can also realize, like in Photoshop or here, this is the real defect of the shoes that when we use photogrammetry we can't solve, but with just a few minutes a 3D artist can solve also these defects, and the shoes will become real and with the post production like in Photoshop, for example. And just to switch again, I think I can share the screen again, Leonardo. And here you can see part of our scalable process. So we use one of the common 360 machine on the market, but you can use your 360 machine. For us, is not a problem because we need just an input of a data set of pictures, and then with this data set, our system realize the perfect 3D in low poly in just one click, and we can see the 3Ds also in AR, as you can see in this inside this gift. And then we upload automatically the GIF and also the 3Ds inside our 3D digital asset manager. So inside we can have a lot of 3Ds. You can have all your collection, and you can have a lot of feature. So you can, for example, I can switch inside our DEM account, and here we can see a lot of different items in different categories. So in this case, we can also filters by different categories. And so we can see, for example, okay, sneakers. Okay, I can click here. We can see on the left the real image, and here we can see the 3Ds. Then we can move, we can zoom. If you scan the QR code, you can see in AR, or for example, we can also use the different parameters, and we can have all the information for embed your system inside your web page. And as you can see, so we can manage thousand and SKU inside.
Yeah, absolutely. Those images were, I think they were real. I didn't see any difference from the 3D model to the actual product. And if I were an actual customer seeing those products, I would be more than amazed because I think that it's almost real. I was feeling kind of in a store environment. So how can you build customer confidence through photorealistic 3D models? Well, it's incredibly easy if you have a 3D model and augmented reality inside a visual commerce platform, because what it does, it simply enhance product offering. And as we said, 2D images, product descriptions, uh, they are not they're not enough, not anymore, not in 2024. So you need to give customers a realistic view of a product, increase photorealism. You need to cross that bridge. With 3D and AR, you can do. You can bring the in-store experience closer to every device globally, because 3D and AR are a global technology. And if you think about engagement, don't think just about e-commerce. Think about what you can do in terms of marketing, like being the one that use 3D and AR in their environment, in your environment, with your product category, in your market, and what you can do in terms of cost reduction and margins increasing, because you can increase your conversions, you can create a markup price just for the customization, just for the use of the 3D preview of of the augmented reality that gives a real understanding of details, the materials. What you saw, what Andrea, what you did show us was amazing, because you could see the details, the lighting, and think of what you can do in terms of fitting in space with the AR. So if you can go on with the slides, what Zakeke and what our visual commerce platform does is actually giving you, as a merchant, the benefit of using the 3D and AR, for example, with the 3D viewer, and what the benefits we will see from the customer standpoint. But uh, what you can think is plus 65% the time on product page, more engagement. Customers will be amazed by the 3D. You can showcase high quality models in any browser, anywhere, any device, no matter the Wi-Fi connection. It doesn't slow down your website, because this is a common mistake that people have in their mind. It will slow down my website. Absolutely not. And we saw why. And so you can, for example, embed any 3D viewer. Don't think about the customization. I just want the 3D model there in any website, or by API in any app. So everywhere you can become an absolutely master of 3D. And then we can have a 3D configuration of the AR in a web augmented reality, because you can see the actual product, for example, in a store. If you want to bring that type of experiences in store, if you don't have, for example, a product type or a product that can be customized by your customers, and you can put it on a shelf. You can see a product in AR just with the QR code. You can play 3D animation. You can show details. Again, think about the fitting in space for furniture and more. So because users want it, don't forget it. User want it. 92% of users want to use AR tool for e-commerce. But let's go on. There are more benefits. So, for example, the virtual try-on. So 93% of customers want virtual try-on experiences. As you can see in this video, you can try on shoes with amazing details, or you can try on glasses before purchases, and even you can enjoy the perfect fit, for example, for glasses, for hats, for jewelry, and of course, thinking about customers on a device that can try on things before buying. So that's the perfect shopping experiences. But think about even a customer that does this, try products online, they see in a different outfits, then they are more this. They can do maybe the shopping in store, because they already knew what they look like with that product. So you have a customer that is really deciding to go through your shopping experience, because it's unique, it's amazing, and it's engaging. And for example, those benefits are put it together, for example, in the always in the 3D configuration world because we saw the 3D viewer, we saw the virtual try-on, but what about customers that want to pay for more for a customizable object? And if you can think about creating something unique, well, you need to think about the online 3D configurator because it gives you the perfect customization options. You can create any combination of products, just starting from 3D model. You can see, spin the models. You can create an experience with made-to-order products with complete control over every detail, from pricing, from materials, cameras, lighting, animation, and you can put it everywhere. As we said, you have an easy integration via iframe and plug in with any commerce platform thanks to the Zakeke integration. So you can bring all of this together in an amazing experience. Of course, we saw what you can do online with all of this, but I leave you to Andrea to explain us the in-store MTO experiences and more benefits that you can have with 3D and AR on e-commerce.
Yeah, yeah, because I think that the plus of the experience and the solution is that we can use it also in an omni-channel way. So we can have the same experience online, but also in shop. So in this case, we are seeing here one of our customers that use them for the configuration of suits, and but we can also switch, for example, to a real example. Testoni is one of the shoe brand use, for example, the system and the 3D configurator, as you can see here, to have this kind of experience for high luxury shoes inside the stores. So the customer can touch physical samples inside the boutique and can see the real shoes inside the screen. So in this case, they can't image, but they can see in a real screen the shoes that they are ordering. So it's very amazing the experience because it's a digital experience inside the shop. And also, so the stores manager can manage all the orders from different customers, different stores around the world. So we can manage, for example, so also different price lists with different users. And so it's a tool to manage your made to order production inside your stores and inside your business solution. So I would like also to stress another kind of application with your 3ds, because in this case we can use the 3ds also for insert them inside the display banner. Here we can see an example of 3D ads. So in this case, the customer can interact with the banner, can also change the color, and in real time can have this kind of experience and click and go to the product page. So in this case, the CTR of your banner will increase by 350 percent. So, if we are speaking about also of the possibility of using 3Ds inside your company, I think it's very important also to imagine new kind of experiences. For example, you can mix the virtual part with the paper. So inside your catalog, inside your magazine, you can insert, for example, a QR code. And so in this example, the customer can have a different experience, so a mixed reality experience, I think, because, okay, I'm reading the magazine and I see the new collection of a brand, but scanning the QR code, I can interact with the object, and can I have more information, and I can go directly in the product page on inside the e-commerce. So I think it's an amazing experience. Also, if combined with AR, so you can have also real time the object inside your room and virtual touch the object. And I think also that one of the most important benefit, if we are speaking about 3Ds, it's also the advantages in saving sample cost and photo cost. Because as we mentioned at the beginning of our webinar, if you implement your 3D inside your company, you could be more sustainable. So you can, for example, produce just one object and then realize all the variation of the object with the virtual world. So here we can see, for example, one of our customers. So we realize just one shirt. So they ship us just pieces of the texture of the different materials, and we realize thousand and thousand of different variation of the shirts. So they save a lot of money in sample production and also in photo shooting for create the image for the e-commerce. So I think that we are at the end of the webinar, Leonardo. So I don't know if we have some question that we
I just want to stress out one thing. It's what you actually said about sustainability. We both stressed out this thing. It's so important because it has become not just a matter of uh, marketing. Like my company is more sustainable. It's a matter of being really a company that think outside of just the normal fulfillment processes and wanted to bring something new in terms of technology because it's never enough to stress out about sustainability in production cost. You showed us I don't know how many thousands of combinations we can create with the shoes, with the configuration, with the MTO, with the 3D view of a product, etc., etc. So it is really important to change the mindset and really become sustainable because it's a matter of now or never, and now is the time to do it because the technology is here. Uh, we bring this type of technology that is an innovation to everyone because again it doesn't break the bank. You don't need a lot of money to do this, to implement this. You just need a simple integration, a simple e-commerce. You can even apply those technologies whatever you want. So it's so important. But again, let's go to the couple of questions that we received. I can see that how can I integrate Zakeke into my store, my commerce. This is a simple one. We mentioned it, but Zakeke is an only one omni-channel visual commerce platform that is perfectly and natively integrated within any business ecosystem, meaning that you can integrate Zakeke with any commerce via plugin. So Shopify, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, Salesforce, OpenCart, etc., etc., etc. You can check that out on zakeke.com and via API. So if you have a custom CMS, don't worry, you can integrate Zakeke and bring visual customization, 3D view, 3D NAR configuration, you name it. So it is super, super easy, and our team is here to support you, whatever you want. And I don't know if you wanted to do one question for you, Andrea. So then, one question for you. Okay, Andrea, can you tell us how many items it's possible to create in 3D with a photogrammetry pipeline? We saw it at, at the beginning.
okay. So okay, good question. Thank you. I think that so it depends, but if you are speaking about to acquire, for example, shoes or bags, and you have one machine inside your company, I think you can create at about 40, 50 3Ds per day with our pipeline. So the time to unbox all the items and start the process. So I think this is the maximum amount of items that you can create per day.
Another question for you. How much does it cost to make a 3D?
Ah, okay. So I think that today we have a very competitive cost. Also, in this case, it depends of the type of object and then the complexity of the object. But we can create also 3Ds starting from, for example, 50 euro till I think 300 euro. But if we are speaking about the new pipeline of photogrammetry, so all the items are the same items, and if the items doesn't need the post production, so we can have 3Ds at I think a medium price of 100 euro per SKU.
Okay, amazing. Um, Another question, I think this one is for me. Which products are available to use within the virtual try-on? So Zakeke offers the virtual try-on for the eyewear industry, so glasses, for the fashion industries, for headwear, and even for helmets, sports industry, and then the jewelry, so everything that you think about in terms of earrings, necklaces, and so a lot of products. And later on, we will add more and more categories. Think about watches, think about rings, so jewelry you can put on your hand, and then shoes, and then other product categories will come later on. But right now, you can integrate the virtual try-on for eyewear, headwear, and jewelry, necklaces, earrings. But don't forget that there is a visual commerce platform, a 3D configurator, and augmented reality that is top notch. And I think that we answered the questions that we received. Thank you guys for being today with us. It was amazing to have you with me and with Andrea. We saw amazing items through the slides that again we want just them to be on our front door, and you can have this if you're a customer. But most important thing, if you're a merchant, you need uh, to have this technology because it's paramount for your success, for your conversion rates, for reducing returns, for your engagement. It's paramount for your business because, again, 3D and AR means more sustainability. Thank you very much, Andrea, for your inputs and insights. It's always a delight to talk to you and have you all, on board.
Thank you, Leonardo, and so it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you for all our hosts.
See you next time, guys. Bye.